Hello and welcome to a Sunday Reflection. My name is Paul Harvey and this is Life, Passion and Business. We're about helping you explore, finding your passion for life and the work that you do. But it's so much more than that. It's about finding clues to the big life questions. What does it mean to be successful? What is the meaning of life? If you're looking for more, then join me on this journey where together we will discover through interviews, tools and tips how to live life full of meaning, passion and purpose. Hello and welcome to a Sunday Reflection. So today we are talking about purpose and passion. Okay, so what is life purpose? Where does it come from? It is interesting. There is something in our makeup where we are naturally attracted to something. And it can happen quite early in life. I suspect, and this is only a supposition of my own, that our purpose happens. It's something that we do. And for us to become aware of it, we just have to look. We just have to find it. And the purpose itself is not going to be a world-changing action. The purpose is something which is probably tiny. It's very easy to look at successful people, politicians or scientists or peacemakers and say that is their purpose. But in actual fact, their purpose may be a tiny aspect of who they are. The thing they achieve is how they enact their purpose. The purpose is a thing, an action, a something that you do or express that changes life for someone else. In 2007, 2008, I took a coaching training. And so I was learning the basics and the structure around coaching. And one thing occurred to me very early on is that, my God, I've been doing this all my life. I have been a coach all my life. I just didn't have a name for what I did. Now, my purpose is not coaching, but I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was doing the action of coaching with people going back years, right away from childhood. And it wasn't until I was working with a fellow coach, we were doing a swap coaching session, and she asked me what my life purpose was. And it fell out of my mouth. I don't know where it came from or anything about it. I hadn't thought about it. It was, I move people forward. And when I left that conversation, I left that meeting, I went back to my car and it had been snowing. And there was a lady in front of me who was stuck in the snow in her car. And I physically moved her forward so that she could get on with her life. And that to me was the universe really cementing in what I had just learned, that I move people forward. And I have always moved people forward. It's interesting, once I discovered that my purpose was to move people forward, I looked to integrate coaching into my marketing business that I had at the time. And it was really useful because when I came up against a block with a client on something, maybe it was about some text we were writing or getting them to truly identify some aspects of their business or aspect of their passion for their business, I would use the coaching tool. And what came out of that also was the idea that helping people move forward and accountability. And the accountability tools that I use came out of that idea. I realised that moving people forward is accountability. And it's a very powerful tool. And that's where the focus coaching came from. So if you want to check out focus coaching, find out more about that, how I explored focus coaching and how it's evolved over time, you can find out more about that at the website. So do check out the resource tab on focus coaching and you'll understand more about how I used my purpose to help people move forward. So purpose is something that is naturally part of our life. I think the question comes is how that purpose is enacted. I could fulfill my purpose pushing trolleys around a supermarket, and I would probably be okay with that role for a while. But there would be other aspects of that role. While it fulfitted my purpose, it would not fulfill me. It would not engage me on other levels. And so I have to find another way in order to fulfill that purpose. And that's why I've chosen the podcast platform, because it's a way, an opportunity for me to express my purpose in a way, to share the discoveries I have, and to help my listeners, people like yourself, move forward. So that is my platform, and I discovered a process, a way, and I have discovered a possibility. Now, my ongoing purpose is to create more and more resources and more tools to help people like yourself move forward. So that's me. And what is so good about podcasting for me is that one of my passions is speaking and talking to people. So it allows me to engage my passion that I thoroughly enjoy, talking to people and meeting new people and helping people move forward. I do it anywhere. So you can see this podcast really fits in with my life purpose and the passion that I have for living and the passion that I've discovered in my life. One of the greatest tools I have seen that looks at this idea of how to engage purpose and passion is the Japanese idea of Ikigai. Now, Ikigai has come up on the podcast a few times. Recently it came up with a conversation with my guest, Russ Avery. Now, he's a marketing strategy guy focused on sustainability. All of that ticks his boxes. It's part of his Ikigai. So let's explain what Ikigai is for you, if you haven't heard of it before. And if you have, let's just look at it again, because I think it has a lot of value. So it's part of the Japanese culture. The word Ikigai translates roughly to the happiness of always being busy. But there's quite a famous diagram that you can see. If you look all over the internet, you'll find this diagram. It has 4 circles. In the top circle, you'll find what you love. On the right-hand circle is what the world needs. On the bottom circle is what you can be paid for. And on the left-hand circle is what you are good at. And when you bring those circles together so they all intersect, you're intersecting passion, mission, profession, and vocation. So they all intersect together, and bang in the middle is Ikigai. Where they all intersect is the one place where you can be truly happy, where what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for all unite under one thing. That is the grail for everyone to aspire to, finding work that they are passionate about and inspired for. There was an article that came out in LinkedIn this week about the dream job is a lofty ideal and that people shouldn't be chasing the fantasy of a dream job. And I'd like to touch on that a bit, because can a job fulfill your passion and purpose? Can it be really what you want? Well, I suspect it can. There are always going to be aspects of something that you do that will fulfill this. But it doesn't mean that the dream job will always be the dream job. It means that you will discover aspects of yourself, enjoy parts of the job, and then when suddenly you have skilled up to a certain place, stretched beyond your comfort zone, the job may no longer be your dream job. It may be too small. See, that is one of the reasons why entrepreneurs chase this idea of passion and purpose and have much more freedom to do it, because they're not constrained by the structural framework of an employer. They are their own employer. And they move and shift their life patterns, the things they do, so that they are in alignment with what they want. So, okay, where does this leave you? How do you find all of these things for yourself? So your life purpose. Have a look back through your history. What is it that you've always done? What is the common factor that you've always been doing with various things in your life? And that when you do that thing, you get some form of joy, some little bit of buzz. What is it that's the common factor throughout? What are you good at? Your passion will be hiding in there somewhere. And if you haven't found something you're good at, then it's time to do more things. One of the aspects that is very clear is that we have to step out of our comfort zone and do more things for us to find the opportunity to find passion, to find fulfillment. I talk about this being the quest on a regular basis. You can't really be questing unless you are taking action, expanding your boundaries, and stepping beyond your comfort zones. Now, bigger goals and bigger things. I'm going to talk about that next week, I think. I think that is a topic for another day. How do we set ourselves? How do we step forward and set ourselves goals? And I've struggled with goals for a long time for various reasons, and I think I'm going to cover that next week. But for now, I'm going to leave you with this. If you've never looked up Ikigai, check it out online. I'll leave the graphic for Ikigai at the website Life, Passion and Business. You can see the graphic there. Or you can just do a Google search. I'm sure you'll find it. And the spelling is Ikigai. So your assignment is to track your purpose and your passions. Have a look back in time. See what you enjoyed. What was the things that you did when you were little? What was the continuity of that going forward? Where has that repeated itself? And list what you're good at. List down everything that you're good at. And ask yourself, why am I good at this? And what do I enjoy about it? Do I enjoy it? Yeah, do I enjoy it? What is it? How does it make me feel? Because I can tell you, when you're passionate about something, it makes you feel good. So when I'm doing this, when I'm talking to a guest on a podcast, I feel I am at my best. I feel good. When I'm cooking dinner for my family, I thoroughly enjoy cooking. I feel good. When I'm cooking for friends or entertaining, I feel really good. So, I know that food is something that I really thoroughly enjoy. It's one of my big passions. What's yours? I would love to hear some stories about what your passions are. And that's it for this week. Now remember, if you are enjoying podcasts, any podcast, please support your content creators with likes, follows, shares and comments. All of these things are the lifeblood of this ecosystem. It's so supportive if you take the time, even just the time to just do a simple follow on a podcast. You have no idea how valuable that is to creators like myself. And that's it for this week. If you want to know any more about Life, Passion and Business, do check out the website lifepassionandbusiness.com. You'll find the graphic for Ikigai under this podcast, and the reference to Focus Coaching is underneath the resource tab. In the meantime, thank you for being a listener, because this journey would be nothing without you. So as always, thank you for your time and attention, and I will catch you later. All the best.